Hi there. I'm going to show you how to make a 10-stitch blanket in my Braelund Stitch. The yarn I'm using is Carnival yarn from Hobbii, Hobbii. I got it online and it comes from Norway, but they ship it pretty fast. Okay, and it is an acrylic yarn. It's a number 3 yarn, so I'm using 2 strands, and it's making kind of like a light bulky, a thin bulky. The yarn I'm using is a 5/8 inch gauge, and I'm only using 6 pegs on it, but of course you can use more pegs if you want. Okay, so what else? Oh yes, if you need to slow down the video, there's a button that will slow it down, and it will also speed it up if you want to zoom past something. And there's also a closed caption button. If you turn it on, it'll give you almost like a pattern because it'll all be in words. So there's 2 things you should take advantage of. And also in my description, and to see this you may have to scroll down, but in the description I will put my cast on and my bind off. And there's also links there for my Facebook group and my Ravelry listings. So, you know, but you will have to scroll down. Okay? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a slip knot and pop it on the first peg. Oh, my loom hook is from a place that isn't making them right now, but they were called We Have a Handle on This. Okay? So the slip knot's on here, and I'm just going to wedge it in here. There we go. Makes it easy because you can see it and it doesn't move around too much for me. And then I'm going to take the working yarn and put it under that loop. And at the same time, I'm going to keep this one here tight. Okay? And so now I have a loop, and I'm going to take the loop and put it behind the first peg, take the working yarn and just pull it through. Behind the first peg, take the working yarn, pull it through. And just do that all the way to the end. And if the loop gets too big, you can just pull it and make it smaller. And then I'm going to pop it on the last peg and just knit it over. Okay, and now, so I never forget what stitch I'm doing, I always write it down so I can see it. Now this is a 2-row stitch, and we're going to do the first row. So knit this over. Now Braelund Stitch is made up of 2 stitches, so this stitch that I'm going to use going this way is my Kernel stitch, so you can always look at that one as well. But I'm going to take this and wrap it like this. So again, watch, I'm going over as if to U-wrap, but I keep going and I come back in front. Then I take this loom hook, put it in the 2 loops, and purl them. Got lost there. Purl them both over, just like that, and tighten. Okay, so you wrap around and back, put the loom hook in and scoop them up and purl them. That's Kernel stitch. Wrapping around and purling. Be good if I got this just a little closer to me because it's a little hard. Okay, and then this one, and purl it, and then I'm just going to knit over this one, and you're usually under it, so you can either take it off and go behind it to make it easy, or you can just knit it the way it is. Just a little bit easier this way, I find it. And I'm just going to knit it off, and then we're going to do the second row. And the second row is my twisted owl stitch. That's also been on my channel for a long time. So I'm going to take the working yarn and I'm going to do an E-wrap and knit it off. Then I'm going to go forward in a U-wrap and knit it off, same peg, and then tighten. So E-wrap, come back, U-wrap, there. Now both row 1 and row 2 are very textured stitches, so they make a real interesting pattern together. E-wrap, U-wrap, and tighten. E-wrap, U-wrap, and tighten, and knit it off. Okay, now we're going to go back, and in this direction we do the kernel stitch. So go around like that and we purl it, and we take the loop, put it on the peg, and again wrap and purl it, and you just tighten it a bit. Okay, not only if you're really loose. Just want to sort of snug it up. There we go, and again. And we come back in my twisted owl stitch, so we knit this over, we do the E-wrap, we do the U-wrap, and that one we tighten. E-wrap, U-wrap, E-wrap, U-wrap. So there's 2 stitches on every peg. And over. And so then we're going to keep going back and forth. And of course, we can get a bit of a look at it, and you can see now it's quite a beautiful textured stitch already, but we'll have to do more. But there it is, looking really nice. And the other side looks like this, although we have to do probably more of the other side to see it, but it's a nice looking stitch too. Okay, so again, that's what it looks like. Got lots of texture and it's nice squishy. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit more and we can have a look at it. Okay, so I will see you in a bit. Okay, so here's what it's looking like now. You can get a better idea what it looks like. And the other side. It doesn't curl. And as you see, I put no borders on it at all. But I don't need them for this project. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It looks really good on both sides, and it's not that hard to do. So I think you'll enjoy doing this stitch. Okay, now the length that we need, I want to do it square, so I'm at the length that I wanted, and on 6 pegs, that's about 12 rows. Now let's say you want it to be rectangular, you're going to go longer. Okay, and let's say you did 10 stitches, then you're going to want to do 20 rows. Okay, so you can tailor this however you want to make it and have it any size. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do, did I come back? I think I did. Nope. So what we're going to do now is corner part 1 and part 2. Okay. So how we're going to do this is we come down in the stitch that we're doing. Okay. and tighten, 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 tighten. Then this one you're just going to knit over, and then you're going to give it a gentle pull until you get it to go into this kind of a V shape. This is called a German short row, so that's what we're doing here. Okay, and when you get it to do that, you're going to tightly wrap this here, not so tight you can't get it over, but you want to hold that in. Okay, and I'll make this a little hard to get over, but you can always, it's just the one right after where you do it, you can always do this, put it on and give it a little pull. Okay, and so we do this stitch back. Oop. And the last one. And then knit over, come back. Now we're going to do the stitch, but we're going to go only up to there because we're going to short row that one. And pull. And pull. And then, whoops, I kept going, which sometimes happens, but when you do that, you just put it back on, do the right stitch, and pull. I have to untangle my yarn here, put it on the other side so it twists the other way. Whoops. Too busy looking at my yarn. Okay, we come back, keeping it nice and tight. And I just use this to flip it over so I don't hurt my fingers pushing on it. And snug it up. And we just keep going, and then we'll come back and get this one. So I'm going to just leave you to do that, and we'll catch up when we get close to the end. So I will see you in a bit. Okay, so here we are now, and this is the next one to short row. So I'm just going to come back and knit over it, pull it into the short row, and then knit it over. And that is the end of corner part 1. And we've done half the corner, so all you see right now is a kind of slant going up there. Now we're going to start picking them up, and that will be corner part 2. So I'm going to go over and pick up the first one right here by knitting over, tugging it to make sure that it's nice and tight, and coming back over it, and then knitting over here again. Okay, and then we're going to come back and then go pick up that one. So come now, because this one is already out of the short row, we do the stitch on it that we do this way. So E-wrap it, then come back and U-wrap it, and tighten. And then we just go over this one, knit it off, tighten it, come back over it, and we come back, we do the stitch we do going this way, just kernel stitch, and pop it over the top of the peg, and tighten, and come back. Now we're going to go down and pick up that stitch. So we have 2 to do the regular stitches on. So, and there's my yarn all tangling up again. Got to change sides. So it'll start to straighten out again. And I'll just straighten it out a little bit here. Okay, so we go over this one. We do the E-wrap. And then we come back over in the U-wrap. Snug it up a bit. U-wrap. Come over it in the U-wrap. And snug it up. And then we're going to pick up this one. Okay? And we come back. And we do the kernel stitch all the way back. And so you're just going to keep doing that. Picking them up. Picking up the last one and then coming all the way back, and I will meet you back there. Okay, so now I'm back here, and here's our corner. There's what it looks like. Now the very first time what we have to do is make another corner, because we need to come, just like we came out this way, we need to come out that way so we can go down and pick up that side. So I have to do another set of corner 1 and corner part 2, and so you only have to repeat it this one time, and that's because we started and we have to go all the way around to join up there. But after that, we'll always only be using one set. We'll always be turning once just to go down there, once just to go up here, once just to go up here. So this is the only time we have to do 2 sets. So go ahead, you know how to do it. Do your corner part 1, your corner part 2, and then we'll meet back up there again. So we will see you in a bit. So here we are now. Here's our initial piece. We did corner part 1 here. Here's corner part 2 here. And now we're going to pick up the stitches along this side. So the first thing I did was I marked the first stitch, and it drops down. So I should have had you mark it a little bit early, but it's still not a problem. You look and you see these stitches are connected to this. If you look at them, they're connected right up to this. So you don't do that. And the first stitch is right here. Okay? So basically, what you do is easy to see the stitches on this. You just pull it and you'll see there's stitch, two little bars, a stitch, 2 little bars, a stitch. So you just go in there and pick up those stitches. They're really easy to see. Okay? So here's the first 2 stitches to pick up. There they are, the 2 stitches just sitting there on here. And we're going to take them and put them on the first peg. Just like that. Okay? And I'm going to take off the stitch marker. That's the first stitch. A little bit stretched out for me pulling it out to stretch it for you, but it will go back. Okay, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to use the Tamsin join. So the minute I put this on there, I'm just going to knit the bottom thing over, and that holds it tight. It shows me that it's being picked up just by the pattern here of what it looks like. Okay, so that's the one we're picking up. So we're going to go down and pick it up. And I already knit over it coming this way. So we just do the stitch all the way down. And last one here. Oop. There we go. And we're just going to knit over that. So we just knit over it and pick it up and give it that little tug. And I usually pull it down too. Give it a little tug, come back over it, knit it, and then you're going to come back in the kernel stitch. So we just come all the way back. And what I do is I usually go a couple pegs up. And then I put the next stitch on. So I go in here and I see I have the loop here, and I see that this is connected up here, so this is the next stitch right here. But you can put stitch markers in them. Okay, and I just put it on. Oop. And then I'm going to knit it over like that to hold it on. I'm going to keep going back, and then I'm just going to come back after I get to there and come back down and pick it up. And so we just keep doing that, okay, until we get down to the next corner, and I will go show you that. And I'm just gonna, I always just knit that over. It helps keep it secure on there. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up, that's the one we just picked up, so I'm going to pick up this one, and then I'm going to be at the last one here, right here. And so when I had to do up the stitch marker, came undone. So when I actually pick this one up and go back and come, you know, pick it up and then come back, we meet up here, and we don't go any further than this corner. So the blue one's the last one we pick up. I put the white one here for the next pickup row after we do corner part 1 and part 2 right there. So pick up the rest of the stitches and pick up this one and come all the way back to be ready, and we'll do corner part 1 and corner part 2 again. Only once. We only do one set now because we're only turning the corner one time from now on. Always just one set, okay? So pick up the rest, and we will see you in a bit. Okay, so now you're going to do, you've got a square again here. So basically, all you're going to do now is do your corner part 1, your corner part 2 again, and then you're going to come down and pick up this side all the way down to the blue. And then when you've come back and forth again, you do your corner part 1 and 2 again, and you start picking up along this side. Now what I did is I just undid the slip knot here so it would be nice and soft. So this is where we cast on. So you know, when I get down there or when I feel like it, I will just be weaving this in. But for now, it's just going to hang here and not bother me too much. So as long as it doesn't bother me, it can stay there. But as you see, I've got the last stitch here, the first stitch here, and here's the corner right here. So, and then the stitches down the side, again, you just pull them, and there they are. One stitch there, one stitch here, one stitch here. Okay, they're easy to see. So you just keep doing that. We've done our first square, and now we're going to keep going around and around and around. Picking up the side stitches, doing corner part 1 and 2, picking up side stitches, doing corner part 1 and 2. It's easier to mark them. I always mark them with blue for the last stitch or a dark color. It doesn't have to be blue, and a light color for the first stitch. And that always tells me so I don't keep going and forget to pick up and do the wrong thing. But we can take a look now at what it looks like, and that's what it looks like on the wrong side. Here's what it looks like on the right side. Just a very pretty stitch. And this is where we are, it's still a little stretched on the loom, so it's going to get tighter as we get further, but this is where we're picking up in the Tamsin join, and it's a nice flat join, and it will start to blend in really good with the stitch as it tightens up. Anyway, there you go. That's all there is to it, and you just keep going round and round. So we'll keep checking in, but you know what to do now, so you can just keep working along. And we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I've done a bit more. So here's where we started. Turned the corner, came down, you know, did the 2 corners and came down. And so I've gone around the whole loom now, because turned the corner here, so gone all the way around it. And so starting, just about to start another corner and go around it again. And so I'll be marking my corners here, the way I showed you, and marking my corners as I go. And yeah, so that's how it's looking. You can see the corners look really nice. No holes or anything in them like you get when you do wrap and turns. Looking really good, and the other side looks really good too. There's how it looks. Turn it this way too so you can see it from different ways. But okay, so that's how we are so far. So we'll keep on doing this and take a look at it from time to time. Okay, so I've gone further. Here's how it's looking. Coming along, did another corner right there. So we're getting quite a bit bigger. So far I've gone around two. Here's your initial where we started, and came down here and did the two corners. So there's one row, two rows, one row, two rows. And I'm coming up here doing the second row this way. And then once we get down there, we'll be doing the third row this way. So coming along really well here. Okay, so that's how we're looking now. And looking good on the other side. I have some things I have to weave in where I ran out of yarn and I had to put new yarn in. And so, yeah, we'll catch up again. Well, here's how far I am with the Braelund 10 stitch. And it's looking really good. I just did a corner. I'm coming down here. And this is a good place to look at the pattern because it's a solid color and a lighter color. It's just gorgeous. Really, really cushy. And actually, as I move it like this, you should be able to see the texture of it. And here's the other side. It has a lot of texture to it too, see? Yeah, both sides are nice. And just looks good everywhere. The corners do up really well, as you can see, even on the light color. Very nice corners. So you've seen enough now. You should be able to go ahead and do this blanket and have fun. And until next time, bye.